is going on? 208. Wonderful to see you. I am back kind of running the show. I almost like it better when Justin was running it. That's
no!
Okay. Hey, we got plenty to talk about. Lots of injuries, lots and lots of injuries. You need to stay tuned, lock in, because we're going to talk about all this stuff and we're going to give you the advice that's going to help you win week 6. Let's get it right now. Hey, welcome in, everybody. Glad to be here with us. Glad you're hanging out with us. Lots to talk about, Justin. Good to see you again, my friend.
Yes, sir. I'm very glad to have Matt back because him giving me all the buttons was one of the most stressful things I have to do in life. So I'm glad he's back to press all the cool buttons.
Yeah, no, it's easy. Just pushing buttons. Lots to talk about, Justin. I mean, so many injuries coming up this week. And man, you're like, what? Why? It does feel like there's a lot more injuries this year than in the past. I don't know. Maybe not. But yeah, let's get into a little bit of news right now.
What's going on?
Brock Bowers, again, I think he'll be back this week. He's still dealing with that PCL. CeeDee Lamb, expect either this week or next week. But, I mean, the offense has still done pretty well. Bucky, still probably going to miss week 6. Lamar, still probably going to miss week 6. They have a bye week 7, so look for 3 weeks. George Kittle can get activated off the IR, but hopefully we see him this week, maybe next week. Brock Purdy, again, aggravated. Jaden Daniels, he should be good to go. Chuba Hubbard, I'm guessing they're probably going to sit him since Rico Dowdle decided to go freaking nuclear in his game with 234 yards. 34 yards, I think. It was absolutely bonkers. That game was nuts. And what other game was it? Was it the Arizona game? That was the same game. Did they play the Panthers? Who played the Panthers? Oh, it was the Panthers in Miami, right?
Yeah, Panthers Miami. Yes.
The Cardinals game was nuts. The Titans game Cardinals was fun. That game was crazy. Trey Benson's on IR. I don't know what's going on with that backfield. We'll kind of see what happens with that. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce all got hurt. Terry McLaurin, like all these guys, just like it's not like catastrophic injuries right now. It's like a bunch of bumps where you're just like, are they gonna play? If they're gonna play, are they on the snap count? Like there are some just a ton. They're expecting JJ McCarthy to come back week 7, so one more week. Ricky Pearsall still dealing with a mild PCL strain. He should come back week 6. I think that's it. Joe Mixon's probably not going to play. The Cowboys' line is absolutely just taped together at this rate, but I don't think it really matters because Javonte Williams is still that guy right now. But I think that's everything. There's a lot. It's a lot of like nitpicky injuries. We could talk about the trade, Matt. How do we feel about Joe Flacco going to Cincinnati?
Yeah, I do want to talk that, but I do want to talk about injuries. I tried to look it up today, and man, as long as I can remember, and we talk about injuries a lot every year, but this year just seems like a ton of injuries, especially injuries for players that had high draft capital. Like, I don't know that we've seen this many before. So I did a little research on it, looked at it, and said, yeah, there's a lot of injuries related to turf. Now, that's interesting. I didn't get in too much into it, but I'm suspecting, and you brought this up last week with the Giants about potentially getting rid of their turf, and I'm wondering if they do it, if other teams will follow. It's very interesting, very, very interesting, and something to monitor as the year goes on and potentially in the offseason.
Yeah, so they're not necessarily going to get rid of their turf. They're replacing their turf because I don't know who's the governing body of soccer, but the World Cup is coming to America. And FIFA said you have to have a grass field for us to play on. So they're like, well, we got to rip this out. So it'll be interesting to see if they can keep it. Like, obviously, they could put grass in there, so why not keep it? It's just a lot more maintenance. I totally understand that, but I just think it's a better alternative to what we're dealing with right now. It just seems like there's a lot of, like, ACLs, a lot of Achilles, and a lot of turf toe this year. And turf toe is is it a ligament that's underneath your big toe? I believe that gets basically ripped off. It's not as bad. It's not as, I don't know, non-violent as it seems. Like, it's a pretty catastrophic injury for people.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. So, that's bad business for the NFL too, right? They've got to have the key players out there. So much injury, so that I read an article today, and I won't go too much into it, but it was by Dr. Bruce Y. Lee, MD, and it says why so many key NFL players have been getting major injuries in 2025. I just thought that was fascinating. So I think you're going to see a lot more eyes on it. And again, the NFL is always trying to prevent injuries, but we'll see what happens. And some of that is just, I've heard the older players talk about this. They're locked out of the facilities too early. They're not allowing them to come back soon enough to practice and to lift and to stretch and get all that. And so things get injured. So anyway, something to monitor. We weren't going to cover too much about it, but I just thought it was fascinating, interesting. More to come. But Justin, you're right. So Flacco trade, and I believe they got Flacco, and
it was Flacco and a 6 for a 5th.
For a 5th, yeah. So do you think that was planned the whole time? Do you think it was like, we need to showcase Flacco and see what we can get out of him? Or do you think it was it's like, no, Flacco's our guy?
I think Flacco was their guy to start out. I don't think they're going to start any of those rookies. I think the Browns are kind of kicking the pot on this. I like, their defense is really good, but I can't take a franchise that serious if they're running out a 3rd or 5th round rookie. That's what the Falcons did for a year, and I thought it was an absolute embarrassment. I just don't think that's the way to do things. I think they're pretty much kicking the hand to 2026. And that Jaguars pick does not look as good as it's going to be, because Jaguars look kind of good. As you guys know, like, they traded up. The Jaguars traded up for Travis Hunter, that they gave a future first, and everybody kind of was up in arms about it. But it'd be interesting to see what the Cleveland Browns get, what the quarterback options are. I listened to a mock draft because I'm a sicko and I love listening to mock drafts. But Dante Moore was the number 1 overall pick from Oregon, which I thought was very interesting. There's a few quarterbacks in this class that the Browns will probably eye. I don't think it's a crazy good class, or what it was going to be before this season, but be interesting to see what the Browns do. I just don't think they're a very good franchise. They had Baker right under their nose and they got rid of him, so that's where I'm at.
So now I want you to just bear with me here. Think about this, because I do want to talk about the Bengals and what they have for now, a now backup quarterback, I think, or maybe quarterback competition there, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The Browns now have at quarterback Dylan Gabriel, Shadur Sanders, both rookie quarterbacks. Running back Quinshad Judkins, Dylan Sampson, both rookie running backs. Harold Fannin, who's part of that offense, a rookie tight end, and also Isaiah Bond, a rookie wide receiver. They are rookie heavy for sure. And they, don't get me wrong, Judkins has been an absolute stud, and we told you to pick him up. And when it was all the Sampson rage, I'm like, no, I think we need to get Judkins. And he's been tearing it up. But this is a rebuild for me. Yep, they are 100% looking at rebuilding, and like, okay, is what it is.
Their rookies have played significantly the most snaps in the NFL. So that's not necessarily a good stat, but it is a stat that they own pretty handedly. So,
yep. So how does this impact the Bengals?
I do like it. I think Jake Browning was doing fine. I thought it was kind of weird. I think Jake Browning at this point in his career is better than Joe Flacco. It did seem kind of like a force. It felt like the Bengals should have got out. And again, I don't mean to beat the drum repeatedly. I think they should have went out and got Kirk Cousins. It seems like the Falcons are pretty set on their price with that. Or even like a Russell or a Jameis, I think would have been a little bit better there. I just think the Joe Flacco one was kind of weird, but that's just my opinion. I don't think Joe Flacco is a huge or significant upgrade, but maybe he slings the ball around more than Jake Browning. Jake Browning showed some life. Jamar Chase showed some life this week. So,
yeah. So, are we thinking Joe Flacco is now the starter?
I would assume so. The only thing with Joe Flacco coming in is I can't remember the stat I saw. Like, he throws like 25% to the running back. So maybe Chase Brown gets revived this week,
I
and
was thinking that as well.
maybe when we get the trade targets, we could talk about him a little bit. I don't think he's a bad player. I think this offense, like once Joe went down, I think it just an avalanche. Call it like the dam breaking. We used that at Rigby a couple times, like the dam. When is this dam gonna break? And it broke when Joe Burrow got hurt. He is the lifeblood of that team. He's everything.
Yeah.
So.
And their defense is horrendous, so that everything was
so
meant
bad.
to be
so bad.
Meant to be very, very offense oriented, and you lose your quarterback, your leader of that team. That absolutely hurts. So I'm intrigued. I hope we see something more out of T. Higgins and Chase Brown with Joe Flacco coming in. It's something to put on your radar for sure. I would not sell Jamar Chase right now. I know there was plenty of people early on saying, "Hey, I need to sell him. He's no good." But no, hold on to him. He showed life last week, so you have to hold on to him for sure. And they're going to still run 3-by-1 sets, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end type stuff. So keep that in the back of your mind. So I think that is it for the news, right, Justin? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, I did forget the Omar Hampton stuff because it made me depressed.
Yep, perfect.
He's on IR for 4 weeks. It feels like every running back that I love dearly, they just get put on IR. I'm sure Ashton Genty is next, but that's just where we're at. Again, you guys have to be able to play this running back market. You have to just keep recycling running backs over and over again. Again, you don't know, especially at the Cardinals backfield. I feel like a lot of people are going to talk about them being a big waiver wire thing. I'm not necessarily loving it that much, but if you're in need of running back, that's maybe somewhere you can pivot to, and I'm sure that's where we're going to go next is to our waivers.
Yeah, and I did have Michael Carter. I did pick him up because I had Benson once Connor went on IR there. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into a little bit of waiver wire action. Waiver wire week 6, Justin. So we just talked about a whole bunch of injuries and what that means and who's out there. So let's run through some players that you have and I have and whether we should pick them up or not for sure.
Yeah, I mentioned. Are you going to go first, Matt?
Nope. You go ahead first.
So the first guy I'm going to mention, again, I have a host of running backs that I think are worth an ad. Keandre Miller is the first guy. It seems like his snap percentage is going higher and higher. He's getting the short yardage workage, and Alvin Kamara seems like the prime trade for candidate, whether it's the Chargers, whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Panthers.
Now.
I don't think it's going to be the Panthers. That's the division, obviously, but there's a lot of teams that need running back. I can realistically see them starting to fire sale. Again, they won a game, which was kind of shocking, to say the least. So I think they might lean on him a little bit more. So snap percentage has been 15, 27, 31, 39. So it's gone higher. He's getting a little bit more snaps. He got 11 touches against Buffalo in week 4. Again, got 11 touches again. He may be a guy week 8, week 9, where he truly becomes the bell cow back.
I agree. I do like him. I think, and he's not going to cost anything. I don't think anybody's going to pick him up right away. I think this is a weeks in advance here play. So, and to your point, he did get a lot of the goal line work. So agreed.
Yep.
My guy here, go ahead. You good?
Nope. You're good.
Okay. All right. My guy is Michael Carter. I think you got to pick up Michael Carter. He's going to be the back. If he's not taken, which he should have already been, but if he's not taken and he's on your list tonight, you gotta go pick him up. He's going to be the workhorse back in there. And it's hard to trust the Cardinals. I think Justin's right. I do have him, and because I've made some trades in a couple of leagues, but I'm going to roll him out there until he doesn't and wait for Benson to get back for sure. So Michael Carter is an easy one for me. You got to go out and get him. He should be a priority on your waiver wire.
Yeah, I think T. Cardo gets the doghouse treatment this week for that fumble that was absolutely absurd. Like
college level.
You just don't do that. I don't understand. Like, you are a bench player that doesn't play a lot. Like, you should cherish that ball. Like, you should have kept that ball. Like, that should be going in your collection. I just don't. I'll never understand why players do it. It's very frustrating. I bet that swung a lot of people's games, which is super frustrating. So my next guy, again, is another injury. Matt might lean the other way, but I think we're on the same page with this. Chargers, again, are going to be without Amari Hampton for at least 4 weeks, so they're going to run the ball. It's John Harbaugh. We're just going to go to that college connection with Hassan Haskins. Again, him and Vidal had the same snap percentage. Hassan Haskins had 5 attempts. Vidal had 4 attempts. Again, I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm going to bet on the Michigan ties a little bit with Hassan Haskins.
Yeah, and this one's tough for me. So I don't really like either one of these. It very could easily be a committee. If you do not need a running back, do not burn a waiver wire. Let your buddies take a waiver wire on these, and we'll pick something up later. Don't burn that first overall pick on either one of these two. It's tough. I think I lean with you if I have to pick. I like Haskins a little bit better, but I can certainly see them going 1-2 and then just rotating whoever the hot hand is, which they've certainly done. So
I would rather have the 2 other guys that we talked about than him.
Yeah. A guy I like, and if he's not picked up, you have to pick him up as well. He should have been picked up already, but Rico Dowdle. Yeah. Welcome to the league. Just as it showed up and
1,000-yard rusher.
Hey,
he's a 1,000-yard rusher. He's a 1,000-yard rusher. Yep.
So here you go, right? Easy pickings. He should not be on waivers, but if it is, please go get him. He is their guy. He could be a league winner. I'm careful to say that, but he could be a league winner.
Ooh, okay, Matt. Okay, so I have 2 wide receivers. I think at least one should be rostered in every league. He's got a pretty high roster percentage. Romeo Doubs. Again, I think everybody forgot about his 3-touchdown game, but he had one of those. He gets Cincinnati this week. Oh no, sorry, he's on a bye this week, and then he gets Cincinnati next week. So you might see him get dropped a little bit in some of your leagues. You might see that roster percentage go down. Again, I think he's still going to get the lion's share. And then Josh Downs. I'm a Josh Downs guy. He is a guy that I have refused to drop. The wide receivers for the Colts are beat up a little bit. Daniel Jones is balling out. They get Arizona this week. So we'll see. He had a good snap percentage at 50%. He had 8 targets for 6 yards, 54 yards. So a halfway decent game from him. So I think wide receiver targets, again, there's not a ton out there. I think he is a good one to get. He's rostered in 46% of leagues.
Yeah, those are 2 that I was going to come across. I'll throw you some kind of later ones. Darnell Mooney is only rostered in less than 50% of leagues, and he's coming back from injury. When he's healthy, he's a very good player, and you know that as an Atlanta guy, and he also played in Chicago. We love him as well. Another guy that showed me quite a bit and is surprised. It's out in San Francisco. Kendrick Bourne, 10 catches, 142 yards. Could it be something? It very well could be. I'm not saying you have to burn a waiver on him, but if you need wide receiver help, maybe you're in that 3 wide receiver league. It's something to look at for sure. I'm intrigued by him for sure. Justin, give us go ahead.
I just don't know what to do with the 49ers wide receivers. Like, they are so like, it's my turn. Oh, it's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's like, I just want George Kittle to come back, but that's just me. So.
Yep. Well, yeah. What do you do, right? In San Francisco, it's hard. It's hard to trust it. A tight end that I like, if he is not there, and we've talked about him earlier, but love Mason Taylor. If he is not rostered, you have to go get him. He is just absolutely part of that offense. He might have some up and down weeks, but he's certainly a part of it and an easy pickup if he's available.
Yeah, you're just shooting for targets with him. He got 6, 7, and 12 his last couple games. So you'll take that all day. He's got Denver this week, so curb your enthusiasm just a little bit.
Yeah,
but he's a good player.
Yep, and 2 other guys that I would just throw out there real fast is Waller, and if Fannin Jr.'s out there, pick him up. I still have high hopes for Fannin Jr., especially part of that rookie quarterback group. Now I think they're going to utilize that. And then I do like him quite a bit, and I think he's only rostered, at least in what I see, is 23% of leagues. So Waller is interesting, has done well. He looks very promising, but we'll see. I do want defenses this week. If you need a defense, if you're going to stream defenses, love Green Bay. Love Green Bay this week. I don't know if you have one, Justin, or not that you would like to talk about.
Nope, I don't got any. I stream defenses like it feels like every week because I'm a psycho and I don't feel like you should draft defenses. But I mean, the Colts, they're playing Arizona. The Patriots get the New Orleans Saints. The Jaguars, who played unbelievable. That Jaguars Seahawks game should be low scoring, maybe. But yeah, and then Bryce Young looked awful. He did not look like a good player, and he plays the Cowboys, which if you're feeling frisky, like maybe. But.
Yeah, it's interesting. Justin and I talked about this before the episode here, and I was telling him who is the number one defense right now, and depending on format. But if you would have told me the Jacksonville Jaguars would be the number one ranked defense going through Week 5, I would have called you a liar, hands down, all day, every day. And they have played very well. They beat Patty Mahomes, man, right? And they didn't give up a ton of points. They only gave up 21, I believe. So that's not terrible to a very high-powered offense. So very interesting. Raises some eyebrows. Moving on, we have some stuff for you. It's gonna be fun. Trades are always interesting. We get those questions all the time. Who should I trade for? Who should I get? But let's talk about some trades and have a little fun with that. So, Justin, we've got trades of who we're looking for, who you might trade away. Some popular names. Maybe we get a 2-for-1. If you're watching in here talking to us, man, give us some ideas. What do you need? What are you after? We want to help you with your trades for sure. So, Justin, who is a player that you are buying right now if you can get them?
If I could go get either of these guys, and me and Matt will talk about a trade that I got text from during work, and me and him can kind of walk ourselves through it. Maybe this will help him a little bit, but I'll get to that in a minute. But running back wise, since everybody's going to buy a running back, realistically, if you can go get James Cook or Derrick Henry after their 2 really bad games, go and do it. Like, whatever you got to do to be able to go trade for those 2, I think you should do. Maybe someone wants to trade for an injured guy like Omarion Hampton or Chuba or whatever it is. Like, I think those are 2 guys that I don't think the price would be too crazy of.
Yeah, here's another one that I go back and forth. Actually, it's probably 2. But Breece Hall is a guy I think you can get pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And we love him. He has so much upside. He's so good. And you're like, you almost hope that they trade him. But yeah. Man, and they're not going to now because they got too many injuries. But I think if you can get Breece Hall for a reasonable price, and you're not selling the farm, remember you're not paying full price for what he is. That's not where he is. So I like Breece Hall if you can get him. I even like, and it's hard there in Seattle, but I like Walker. I like Walker too, especially if you have Charbonnet. Try to get that stack. But you could also sell player, but you could also trade away Charbonnet too, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I think there's a couple of running backs that I would like to get with potential upside for later in the season. So
the only thing with Breece this week, you might be able to wait 1 week and then get him just because he plays Denver this week.
Yep. Give me a wide receiver that you want to sell. Or sorry, that you want to buy. Give me a buy wide receiver. Here's a guy that is on the dirt cheap right now you can go get.
It was Jamar Chase, but not anymore because he decided to go freaking crazy. Realistically, if I could go get Tet, okay, people are not going to want to his, but I think Tet is having just as good a year as Emeka. And people don't want to hear that because Emeka has gotten the targets. I mean, Tet has gotten the targets. He just hasn't scored touchdowns. Like, that Carolina offense looks real scary with Bryce. Bryce does not look like the answer. I thought he'd be so much better. He's just not. If you go out and get Tet, I think he will continue to be an 8 to 12 target guy for pretty dang cheap. He's just not scoring the touchdowns, which he wish he would do. I think they will come, but I think he will. I think he's a guy you got to get.
Yeah, if you can do it, there's 2 players. One's much higher than the other, but there's 2 wide receivers that I really like. If you can go out and get Drake London, go get him. He
Oh
just
yeah,
seems to have not. He seems to have like kind of fallen off. He's like, I guess, I suppose. You might have a league member who's 1-4, right? Or kind of needing to win, and you're willing to wheel and deal to get Drake London. I think you should do that. The other guy that I think you can get really cheap is Lad McConkey, and I think they're going to run less and now throw the ball. And I think Lad is going to reap the benefits of that offense now. And I've been trying to get him in a bunch of leagues. Like, okay, how can I get him? Because think about it, you have two running backs that are so why not do the check downs? Lad, he's a good route runner. You've got other wide receivers, but let's get him involved in our running game per se. So I do like that a lot. And he can get him for dirt cheap because really he lost his wide receiver to wide receiver spot to old man
Keenan Allen.
Yeah, Keenan Allen. So it's like, okay, but now there's an opportunity, and I think he's gonna eat. I really do. And you can get it if you're wrong, it doesn't cost you a lot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like that. I mean,
give me two. Oh, go ahead.
They should use him as an extension of their running game. It'll be interesting to see how they do it.
Give me a wide receiver that you're selling. Who you selling high on?
You're not going to want to hear this. I know Matt's not going to want to hear this. It's still a Mecca. I think you can get the world for him. Again, he's coming back soon. Chris Godwin. He has 25 catches and he's scored 5 times. That's just not a percentage you keep up. Like, I'm not saying Emeka is a bad receiver. It's just hard to keep this up. I think as we get further into the season, defensive coordinators will start to game plan for him instead of game planning for Godwin or Mike Evans or Bucky or whatever it was. That is, again, my personal opinion. Could you get a JSN? Could you get a Lamb McConkey plus? Could you get a Drake London plus? I think you might be able to.
If you're I think we got to do context there because you're right. I'm like, nope, I'm not selling Ibuka, especially if your team is 4-1 or 5-0 or something like that, right? I do, but if you're needing it, if you're a 2-3 team or a 1-4 team, yeah, there's potential. You just got to be smart about it. I'm shocked when I go out there and look through the industry, and I see so many people wanting to sell Ibuka. What can I get for Ibuka? What can I get for Ibuka? And I'm like, he's top 3 wide receiver. Why do you want to sell him right now? Right? So that tells me you're worried about his fall off, and I'm not worried about his fall off with Evans even coming back.
Would you rather have Ibuka or Odunze the rest of the season?
Ibuka.
Really? Even with that one extra game?
Yeah, I do. I love my Chicago Bears, but with Odunze, they're going to get DJ Moore involved.
His breakout looks real.
Yes, for sure.
Like he looks like an alpha. He looks like an alpha. But
yeah, love them both. Yeah. No, it's a good one. That's a good one. I kind of go through and I think Deebo Samuel's a player I could trade. Right? He is wide receiver 10, I think, right now, which is surprising. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9, wide receiver 9. And it doesn't feel like it, but if I could package him to try to get up and get like a Garrett Wilson, or I could get a Pickens, or even a Roma Dunze, then I would do that. I would do that in a heartbeat. But I do have him in a couple leagues just because I got him on the cheap, but I would be willing to trade him if somebody needs a wide receiver 3 or something like that, or maybe even a 2 because he's that high. So
would you trade away Jamar Chase right now? Would you trade Jamar for Emeka?
I think I would, but I would probably need maybe something a little bit in return because there's a chance Jamar Chase just goes off, right? Just with Flacco and him force feeding him, it's very possible.
Would you rather have Jamar or Roma Dunze?
Oh, Chase.
JSN.
Chase. Yeah. There's not many outside of a Ibuka. It's like if I'm trading Chase, I'm also getting running back help.
Okay.
Some type of a 2-for-1. So
that's fair.
Gosh, give me your thoughts on here. I'm going to put one on you, right? Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, Bill.
Oh gosh.
What are you doing with him? Right? He just had a huge week. What are you doing with him? Is he somebody you want to trade or is he somebody you want to buy?
I just don't know if I can get rid of running backs. I don't. This is hard. Like, realistically, would I rather have the ups and downs of what he is? He feels like a little bit like Ken Walker, and I don't want to play those running backs. Like he has a good week, a bad week. I think he's the best running back on the roster, but like sometimes they give him like 3 carries, sometimes they give him nothing. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him. I want to pull up his stats so I can look at him. There we go. Let's see what he had. So again, his snap percentage isn't great, and again, he only had 16 touches, but he scored 27 points off of it. So it's like it feels super inflated. He has Chicago, Dallas, Kansas City, Seattle, Detroit. Not a terrible schedule. Again, I think they're going to continue to play all these guys because that's just it feels like they're doing with McNichols, Chris Rodriguez. Like, if you had to make me do one or the other, I'd probably sell him.
And what would you sell him for?
I if I could get Derrick Henry or James Cook, I would do it. But I don't know if I'm going to get that. Running back wise,
if he's not your top, let's say he's your RB3, would you try to trade him for like a Hampton or a Benson that will come back later?
Probably not, just because I would want the production right now. I don't really love trading for guys off of injury. That scares me just a tad bit. Judkins would be fun to trade for. Maybe Bucky. Bucky would be a guy that fits that realm of someone coming off an injury. J.K. Dobbins, I think, is a super underrated back right now that you could probably get for him. I think he's a lot more consistent. Wide receiver wise, Tet would be super fun. If I get it for Ladd, I would do it. If I could get it for Brian Thomas, I would. Yeah, I think all those guys would work for me. Roma Dunze.
It's fair. That's fair. Okay, one more, and then I'll let you flip the tables.
Okay.
Travion Henderson.
Oh,
it feels like we are in the old New England Patriots system where you could not trust any running backs out of that. And it's like, are we doing this again? Really? And maybe it wasn't
and stuff.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't Bill that was calling the shots with the running backs like that. Maybe it was McDaniels. And it's like, are we really? We watched him fumble twice, and more than that in multiple games with Stevenson. And here we are with Travion. Like, why aren't we giving him the ball? Like, this is nuts. So, what do you do with Travion? You holding him? Can you sell him? And what are you doing? What are we doing?
I mean, these next 2 weeks, he's got New Orleans and Tennessee. So, like, if he doesn't pop this week, then I think you're pretty done for. I would trade him. I am not going to wait for him. I'm not going to wait for my season to go down the drain by week 7 or 8. He's got Cleveland in week 8, which we all know. We've all seen Cleveland's defense. And the number 1 total defense, the Atlanta Falcons. Again, they've only played 4 games. That's why. But it's just a stat. But, again, if you have a Patriots fan or an Ohio State fan in your league, shop him. See what you can get for him, because I just don't think they're going to count. Like, his snap percentage was the highest it's been, and it was at 50%. He still only got 9 touches. Like, we can't do anything with that. Like, it's not enough.
So in that Bills game, just so we're very clear on what had happened, and this is what makes me nervous. And I know Antonio Gibson's done. I think it was an ACL that he is injured and he is done for the year. Yeah. So in that game, Henderson had 6 carries. Gibson had 6 carries. Ramondre Stevenson had 7 carries with a fumble and 2 touchdowns. This is very, very reminiscent of what McDaniels did when Bill was there, and they just cycled these running backs. It's unfortunate, but Justin, I'm with you. I think you, unless things get all crazy, for some reason they just go to give Henderson the workload. I think you have to either hold him and hope, or if you need help, you got to sell him to a Pats fan and try to get something for him and talk him up like, oh, he's going to be the guy. It's just a rookie thing. And it's unfortunate. Now I wish he would have went to the Bears, the next pick in the draft, but they're wasting his talent, in my opinion. And it's unfortunate. Now, I know they beat the Bills. That's great. But a lot of that was Diggs with 10 catches and 146 yards. But dang, Travion Henderson is just a waste of talent sitting there, and it's frustrating from a fantasy football perspective.
I totally agree.
What do you got, Justin? Any for me that you're thinking?
So the trade that I was talking to someone in my church about, which I thought was pretty interesting. He just texted me at work. So Austin asked me about a few things. I asked him to send my roster, his roster, and the other team's roster. So his trade was, again, it's an Ibuka trade. So that's why I've been talking about this. That's what I've been thinking about all day. It's James Cook and a Dunze for Ibuka, Worthy, and Jordan Mason.
One more time.
So James Cook and Roman Dunze for Emeka Ibuka, Xavier Worthy, and Jordan Mason.
I think I like the Cook side the best. He has been just
really.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he has just been balling out. I mean, I'm not. To your point, Emeka has been uber productive, right? I understand that, and I like him, and I don't want to trade him. But I think I like the Cook side a little bit better. There is no other back in that system other than Josh Allen, and it's Cook. They tried to run a couple other guys, but it's not working. So I think I like the Cook side there.
No, I did not think you would go for that. He said, and then the next thing he said, he also offered me just James Cook for Worthy and Mason. I said, yeah, take that right now. Yeah. I think James Cook had a really weird game. I think he'll be fine going forward. Again, the Emeka stuff, I think Roman Dunze has had that good of a game, but he had a bye, so I think people have forgotten how good he has been. I think they're pretty dang close. I think Rome will have a little less competition than Emeka will. So that's where I'm kind of at with that right now.
Yeah, certainly.
One guy that probably how I feel about this guy is how you feel about Ladd. How do we feel about BTJ?
Yeah. You know, I want to like him so much. I want to. I'm gonna pull the stats up while we're kind of sitting there talking about it. But
yeah, he doesn't got a lot.
I think he's got. Where's he at here? I think he's got a fair amount of targets, but we're not connecting.
He's got a decent amount. 7, 12, 6, 7, 6.
Yeah, so he's got 38 targets on the year through 6 games. But he's got 16 carries or 16 catches for 244. So he's catching not quite half of them.
Yeah,
and I don't know if those are force fed or what. I'm just not sure. I want to like him. I think I can get him. I think you can get him on the cheap. But you're also going to fight the name of other league managers, right? They're not going to want to give him up for cheap. They're like, no, I'm just going to hold him for that. So I think he's hard. He's going to be a hard one to get.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've been trying to get him in a lot of leagues, and it has not worked. And it is what it is. So that's where I'm at.
Let me ask you this one, Justin. It's like BTJ or Stephon Diggs.
That's hard, man. I feel like Drake Mays,
especially.
So I'd probably go Diggs right now.
And if I would have said that prior to this last week, which right, Diggs is like, okay, You know, he plays against the Bills and has a game and great and all that stuff. Can he continue that pace? Can he light that fire? He looked really good. He didn't look like he was injured at all. So good stuff. And again, if you have questions about trades, we are talking trades right now. And if you want to figure out what you need or what you're after, please drop a comment and we will answer it for you for sure. So
I got 2 more wide receivers. So how do we feel about Jalen Waddle with the Tyreek Hill injury?
Love him. Scooped him up, made a trade for him right after the Tyreek Hill injury, and he proved me right. Yep. And I think we're going to see a lot of it.
I think you're either on the side of this offense is awful, and I need to get rid of everything in this offense because it feels like the Dolphins coach, which I can't think of his name right now, McDaniels. Is it McDaniels?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems like he's coaching for his job right now. Or you're like, well, they only have realistic 1 target, or 2 if you want to call Darren Waller one. And Jalen Waddle seems to be the focal point of this offense, and I get one of those focal points, which is always a good buy. I'm probably with you on this, Matt. I still like him. I think he's a talented kid. I think the Dolphins probably reset a lot of things next year and get a new quarterback, but I think Waddle is one of their pillars that will stay there and continue to ball out. I don't know if Tyreek Hill is going to play football again.
Yeah, he's slated to come back for 2027. He's, like, I'm coming back, that type of stuff. I actually saw it in one of our dynasty leagues. Somebody had dropped Hill, and then somebody else went and picked him right back up. So I guess that's fine. Gamble. There's nothing, didn't cost you anything. I don't think he's going to be the player that he was, to your point. But I don't know. We'll see. He may give it a go. He's done crazier things.
Yeah. And then the next player, I think, is the enigma of a lot of my group chats, and that is A.J. Brown.
Don't want any part of him. Zero. None. I will trade him away as fast as I can. The problem with A.J. Brown, and I like him, he's a very, very good player, is that he's kind of like, we talked about this last week. He needs his stats. He wants to be a part of it, and then they win. And then maybe he gets the ball and they lose, and he's like, well, it's okay. I got mine. So I really do think they should trade him. Maybe they could trade him to Vegas. Maybe they could trade him to, there's a number of places, I suppose. The Giants would be a great one. Yeah, it's a great call.
It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen, but it would be nice.
So, yeah. So things like that. I just think they need to kind of let him go, and get what you can out of him. Outstanding football player. It feels like, to your point, I think you said it last week, it doesn't feel like he cares about winning or losing. He just wants his. He's like, I want a Super Bowl. I don't care. Where's my stats? So anyway.
100%.
Again, if you have a question for us, let us know. We want to answer your trades. What do you need? Let us help you win your league for sure. So pop that question in there. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so we help you win your fantasy football. Give me a couple, and before we sign off here, because I think we're going to end it a little bit early tonight. Let me give you a couple. Dak Prescott or Jaden Daniels?
Oh gosh, dude, Dak Prescott's balling out right now. He looks, I don't know if Dallas is a good team, but I think I'm gonna go Dak, and I probably sound like a crazy person.
And we did talk about, we talked quite a bit about that in the preseason, right? It's an odd year, and he does well in odd years, so we'll keep crossing our fingers, and he's playing well.
Yeah,
I have another one for you. Stephon Diggs or Marv Harrison Jr.?
Oh gosh, man.
It's a good one.
It's always I'm gonna go Marv. That catch that he had was a touchdown. It was really frustrating that it wasn't called a touchdown. He looks like he is maybe getting over his yips. I still believe in him quite a bit.
Here's like a 2-for-1. Bucky Irvin or Zay Flowers, Chase Brown.
Yeah, I'm going to take Zay Flowers. I'm going to go for the upside. I think Zay Flowers will continue to overtake Mark Andrews. And I believe with this QB trade, I think Chase Brown will get more work.
All right. Last one for you. And then we'll sign out of here for sure. So It's kind of a bigger one. Roma Dunze, RJ Harvey. 4, DeAndre Swift and Drake May.
If it's super flex, I'd probably trade the Drake May side, but I'm gonna take the I'm really high on a Dunze, which I didn't think I'd ever say. He looks like a dude to me, and
Yeah,
I think he hasn't got as much pub as he's gotten because the Bears haven't been what we thought they would be, but he's been a good player.
Yeah, for sure. And it's interesting to talk about. So the Bears. So Caleb's QB 16 right now, and he just had his bye week.
Yep.
But he did in week 3, it was QB 2. And I'm like, okay, the Bears may be onto something, and they really haven't utilized DJ Moore yet.
No.
If they're going to trade DJ Moore, they're going to have to showcase him a little bit. They got to get him involved in the offense. With Colston hurt, right? So he's out. They still got Cole Kmet, and they're utilizing it. But I think we're going to see after this bye week DJ Moore get more work in this offense. If I'm correct, we'll see. I did trade for DJ Moore a couple of times, and my hope was that he would do well enough that I could then trade him for somebody else in value. So I'm curious to see how that pans out. I hope I guessed right, but it should be fun. It should be fun and interesting. Gosh, it's been about 50 minutes or so, Justin. We hit a ton of stuff here. Anything else that you can think of? Maybe a last call.
I'm really excited for this Falcons game. Like this Falcons-Bills game, I think will tell a lot about how the Falcons are. The Bills just got beat. Like they got beat by their little brother from the AFC East. And it'll be interesting to see how they respond. Specifically, Josh Allen. I thought Keon Coleman would pop more. It'll be interesting to see them come into Atlanta and see how they play. It'll be interesting to see what Atlanta has changed with 2 weeks to prepare. Same with Chicago. Like all these teams coming up off these buys, these very early buys. How much has their offense changed? I think it'll be. We had some really good primetime games. There were some really good games that were really back and forth, even ending with that Monday night game. I think football has been really good this year. I think it has been dampened by the injuries like we talked about at the beginning of the show, but there's been some really good NFL games.
Yeah, and here's what's fascinating to me. Week 5 was fascinating. Ravens lost. Not only lost, but they lost big. Yeah, Eagles lost to an up and coming Broncos team. And then you had the Chiefs losing to a Jaguars team, all in week 5. Fascinating, right? It's like, wow, let's see who bounces back from that and put some things together. And then the Bills lost it, which we already talked about, to the Patriots. That's an upset week, if you can ever think of it. So the Ravens and Texans game was oh my gosh. Wow. CJ Stroud balled out. So anyway, so more to come this week for sure. Eagles, Giants, looking forward to that one. Broncos, Jets, I think, can those Broncos continue to keep going? Ravens, Rams game will be interesting to watch.
Yeah.
I had a couple more here. Packers, Bengals, Bills, Falcons, which you already talked about. Chiefs, Lions, right? Chiefs, Lions will be another good one. Yeah, and then I do want to see how my Bears come back with the Commanders on Monday Night Football off their bye week. So a lot of fun. Always start your studs. Don't overthink it, right? I had so many questions like last week. Do I start Jamar Chase? I'm like, yes. What are you talking about? Yes, you started.
Always start him.
Like, always start him. So, all right, guys, we're going to sign out of here. Thanks for tuning in with us. Catch us next week. We're going to hit it up again. Well, hopefully we'll get Chance back in here, have a little fun, but be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you have a question for us, let us know. We'll help answer it for you. We hope you get your waiver wires in and get the players you want. Until next time, we will see you next time. We are out of here.